Welcome to my final Shameless Season 11 episode review video. In fact, my final Shameless review video, as this is the series finale. Before I get into all that, though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching, you're watching every single entire episode of Shameless, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. So I still hate this finale. My opinion didn't change. I'm still griping about it as we speak right now. If you want to hear my initial thoughts after watching the finale when the episode actually aired, you can click right here with about 20 seconds left to go in the video. That'll be the end screen, and that will be the link to my Shameless series finale rant video. Remember, you have to watch the entire series before you watch that. But I like the series. I just feel like towards the end there was a huge drop-off. Probably because of Fiona leaving, but it even started before then, let's be honest. Her hooking up with that bald guy, no offense to bald guys, but what was it? I can't remember his name now. Wow. Well, anyway, I didn't like his character, and I thought Fiona could have done a lot better, and the show could have been a lot better, but I do like it a lot. There are some really good seasons of the show, but I think the final 3 seasons are not that great. So I'm not even going to do another video about ranking the seasons because they all kind of gel together, the good ones, and it would just be too hard to remember what happened where and try to pick which one I like better. But anyway, I do like the show a lot. It's one of my favorite shows of all time, probably top 15. I just do not like how it ended at all. Too many open-ended things, too many things that weren't like nothing. We don't have answers to questions that we wanted. So with all that said, this will be Shameless Season 11, Episode 12. The title of this episode is called Father Frank, Full of Grace. This will be the series finale review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode about an hour ago. So we start off with the family, and they're observing Frank. He's laying there, he's not moving, he's OD'd again, and V can tell that he's barely breathing. He did a lot of heroin, but he's not dead. And then Heidi, the random character that we were just introduced to, wants to check his pockets for money. Nobody really cares it's Frank, but at least, well, everybody except for Liam. Liam, I do believe, cares. But so everybody goes back to what they were going to do for the day. Heidi does go down and check Frank's pockets as Franny still stands there by Frank observing this. And then Debbie's happy that Lip failed in selling the house. And Ian tells Debbie she's pretty harsh. Heidi talks to Liam a little bit. Doesn't know which one's who between her and him and whatever. And then Tammy asks Lip if he's okay when it comes to Frank. And then Lip tells Tammy, yeah, I stopped caring about Frank a long time ago. And then Tammy believes she might be pregnant again. She's not sure, but she's late. And when her tits are swole like when they were when she was pregnant with Fred. And then Tammy tells Lip to figure out where they're going to live. She's cool with whatever as long as the 3 of them, or possibly 4 of them, are together. Ian asks Mickey, do you know what day it is? And Mickey says, how the fuck should I know? Not really answering the question. More on that later. Debbie and Heidi are going to play with some handcuffs, so they need Franny to go stat, and Franny goes downstairs, touches Frank's head. As she walks away, Frank wakes up and then goes outside randomly. V's working on getting the alibi sold. There's a possibility that might be like a tanning salon sort of thing. Liam lets Lip know about Frank. Lip says if Frank's gone, and then Liam's like, well, sort of. He's just gone from the apartment or the house now. Frank has gone to Patsy's Pies. It is closed up due to COVID, and it's all boarded up and everything. Carl gives a woman a parking ticket, even though she apologizes profusely and says she was going to move if somebody handicapped had come up. Liam's going to look for Frank. Brad has given Lip a Honda bike to do his deliveries on. Mickey and Ian are looking at furniture, and Ian starts arguing politics with the person that's working there. That's definitely a Trump supporter. And Ian is defending Joe Biden, which Ian is a moron for that. Trump 2024. Anyway, Heidi we have stealing a car, and Debbie thinks she's in love. can't stand that relationship. Not that I give two shits about Debbie, but just this random character that's introduced the episode before the finale. Whatever. And the person that might buy the alibi will probably be tearing it down anyway. V has put Cincinnati jerseys on Amy and Gemma. Red jersey and a Bengals jersey. No Bears, no socks. Frank thinks he works at a church now, and he starts putting on like the nun outfit or something like that, I believe, or was it a church outfit? We have Lip delivering some food. Carl catches up with Tipping. He has Tippy run Heidi through the system. He tells Carl about, wow, this woman's got a rap sheet like you wouldn't believe. Lip delivers food to a guy who's having issues with his trading, and Lip fixes the issue, but he only gives Lip a 10% tip when he just got $4,000 because Lip fixed something. He could have tipped him like an extra like 50 or something like that. So just a 10% tip. Lip puts "honk if you love pussy" on the back of his car. I think that's what he put. It's something like that. I might not have got it worded 100% there. I didn't go back and check what you actually put, but it was something like that. On the way back, an ambulance passes Lip, and Lip actually is behind the ambulance, and Frank is actually in that ambulance now, as the people at the church called an ambulance. Liam stops by the alibi to see if Frank's been through. We find out that Frank is at the ER and says he doesn't feel too good. Mickey finds out that Ian wants a baby. Mickey says he'll be a shitty dad. Does anyone remember the baby that he had with Svetlana? Not a mention of that baby. They haven't mentioned that since Svetlana left the show. Was that season 8 that she left? Or was it... Yeah, I think it was season 8, the end of season 8. Heidi and Debbie are getting it on, and Heidi mentions that they should go to El Paso with Franny. And then we have Franny start to color all over the note that Frank had left behind. And we have Frank waking up in the hospital and calls the nurse Fiona. Frank tells the nurse, Fiona, she cried a lot when she was a baby, but so beautiful. And then Frank has a mask put on him, like an oxygen mask, I think, maybe not. And he has visions of his kids, I'm guessing from the first season of Shameless, I think. And we have Fiona in the flashback. Not Fiona now, though. And we have Carl and Tipping arriving at the alibi. So something is going on at the alibi that everybody's going to the alibi for. We have Liam sitting next to Frank's seat at the alibi. He still hasn't found him, and he looks down to see like Liam really misses Frank. Out of all the kids, Liam is the one that is most torn about this. And we find out that Frank has COVID, and they see the "do not resuscitate" on Frank's chest that was tattooed on there. They have to look through his files for an emergency contact info. Ian and Mickey arrive to the alibi. Ian has to remind Mickey it's their anniversary, and Ian is pissed. They enter the alibi, and everybody shouts, "Happy anniversary!" Mickey planned this, and Ian, who's asked to give a speech, says, "I love this man." We have more of Frank seeing the kids from the earliest seasons of Shameless. We even get Monica. We even get Jimmy Steve. I like Jimmy Steve. Obviously, I like Fiona. Lip tells Ian Tammy might be pregnant again, and Lip tells Ian that Shelby might want to buy the house for only $75,000, so they'd each get $15,000. And Ian tells Lip that him and Mickey might want the baby if they don't want it. Ian tells Lip he's the closest thing to a dad they've ever had. That was touching. Frank has a vision that he's at the alibi. He takes a drink of a beer, and then it refills by itself. Someone's Tesla is on fire outside, so they all go outside. And then they all start singing, "That's the way we get by, that's the way we get by," which was also played in the first episode of Shameless, the pilot episode, which I did not know until, like, when I first watched this episode, I did not know that until I did the rewatch, started my rewatch, and then that first episode, like, wait, that's the song they sing in the finale. Sure enough, that's right. And everyone is singing the song. Frank's chair starts to raise, And we find out at the hospital that Frank has indeed died of COVID, apparently, not the alcohol, the drugs that are in his system. And then we hear Frank read his note. The context of the note, he talks about each kid, aside from Fiona. But Debbie, good luck. You're going to need it. And stop worrying so much. And Frank wishes he partied more. He is proud of all the kids because they got a little bit of him in him. Frank says that Kev and V are overrated as friends. They're just nosy neighbors. And Frank says, time's precious. Don't fucking waste. Have a good fucking time. I sure did. And we see that Frank's body is about to get cremated. And when he's putting there, major pressure happens and like blows the doors off, and the two guys are sent back against the room. And that's what ends this episode and the series of Shameless. I mean, there's a lot of questions in this episode that I didn't even, touch on. Are Tipping and Carl going to buy the alibi? Is Debbie going to go to El Paso with Heidi? First of all, is Tammy pregnant, which we think she is? Is she going to keep it? Is she going to give the baby to Mickey and Ian? Is Mickey going to be okay with that? Are Kevin B actually going to move to Kentucky? Because we don't know who's buying the alibi. So, I mean, they already put money down, so they obviously are. I feel like hopefully someday we'll get a Shameless reunion episode or season show, whatever, that might be able to fix some of the issues and give us more closure. I'm scoring the episode a 3 out of 10. I just have so many complaints about this finale being rushed. And I know maybe they had some restrictions. Obviously they did because of COVID. You should have had Emmy Rossum in the episode, at least on a Skype call or something to have her on the episode. She can let everybody know that Frank's dead, because I'm sure she was the emergency contact, even though long before she told everybody to remove her and put Kevin V and Lip ahead of her. But I don't know. I'm going to give the characters of the episode to Lip and Frank. In my opinion, no female really impressed me that much in this episode. I started actually liking Tammy a lot more than I initially did. So she got better as a character, in my opinion, when I thought she was cringeworthy before, where now Debbie has always been cringeworthy. Except for the earlier seasons, Debbie was great. But then she just, having that one guy rape her, it got all downhill from there. So Liam and Frank are going to be the characters of the finale episode of Shameless. And those are my thoughts. Remember, I did a Shameless series finale rant video. Click right here. 20 seconds left and you can watch that. So I want to hear what you have to say. If you're a fan of Shameless and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing the like button. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this finale of Shameless. What would you score the episode? Who would be your characters of the episode? I mean, the only thing they could do some year, I think they will do it, is to do a one final episode or something like that, as my nose is starting to itch. Something to bring back the characters, maybe do something. Give us more answers to questions that we're actually answering. So, I don't know, but I was not a fan of this season, this episode especially. I mean, there's touchy moments in it, there's comedy with Frank. It's Debbie, good luck. You're going to need it. But I don't know. But anyway, remember, click right here for my Shameless series finale rant video, assuming that you've seen every single episode of Shameless. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, share your damn support, be a part of something special, and you never know what you're going to see on JDub TV.